There are wars that never make it to the battlefield. They take place in the silence of your mind. When doubt rises, when fear whispers, when comfort seduces. You wake each morning, and without realizing it, you enter a new campaign. The fight to live with clarity, purpose, and calm. It's in this invisible war that Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese general and philosopher, speaks to us. His book, The Art of War, has survived more than 2,000 years, not because it teaches how to kill, but because it teaches how to live. Beneath every line of military strategy lies a deeper message about awareness, patience, discipline, and balance. Sun Tzu wasn't just writing for generals. He was writing for anyone who seeks mastery over the self. The true battlefield is life itself. And these are his 10 lessons beyond war. There's a story about a young man who once asked his teacher, "How do I win every fight?" The master smiled and said, "By refusing to fight battles that do not matter." That single line could have come from Sun Tzu himself. He understood something most people never learn, that every day we waste energy fighting unnecessary wars. We battle opinions, chase validation, and defend our pride as if it were a fortress. But life's greatest victories are quiet, subtle, and internal. Lesson 1. Know yourself deeply. Sun Tzu wrote, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." It sounds simple, but few ever achieve it. Most people spend their lives knowing the opinions of others, but not the truth of themselves. They scroll endlessly, comparing, envying, wishing, but rarely reflecting. To know yourself is not to label yourself. It is to observe yourself, to see your desires, your impulses, your fears as they are, not as you wish them to be. Self-knowledge is the foundation of all strategy, because a mind that cannot see itself clearly will stumble even in light. When you catch yourself reacting in anger, pause. Ask, "Why does this move me?" The general studies his enemy's formation. You must study your emotions with the same precision. Awareness is your first weapon. Lesson 2. Win without fighting. Sun Tzu called it the supreme art of war, to win without battle. In the art of living, it means mastering restraint. When insulted, you do not respond. When challenged, you do not react. When chaos surrounds you, you remain still. People think victory means conquering others, but Sun Tzu's victory meant conquering the need to. When you hold your peace in a world addicted to reaction, you disarm it completely. Think of the colleague who gossips behind your back. You could confront them, prove them wrong, demand respect, or you could let their words fall like arrows on armor. In silence, they lose their power. You don't win because you fought. You win because you didn't need to. That's not weakness, it's mastery. Lesson 3. Adapt like water. Sun Tzu said, "Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows." He understood the secret of strength, adaptability. In nature, water is both gentle and unstoppable. It yields, but it never surrenders. It flows around obstacles and erodes mountains with time. In your own life, rigidity breaks you. When plans fail, when people disappoint you, when the world changes, flow. Don't resist what you can't control. Use it. Bend around it. Shape yourself to the moment instead of wishing the moment would shape itself to you. When you're fired from a job, you can either mourn what was or build what could be. When someone leaves you, you can either curse their absence or fill your own cup again. Those who adapt do not fear change. They become it. Lesson 4. Discipline is strategy. Sun Tzu said, "In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. But opportunity is worthless without preparation. A warrior does not sharpen his sword in battle. he sharpens it in silence. In the modern world, discipline has become unfashionable. People want motivation. But Sun Tzu would laugh at motivation. Motivation is a flicker. Discipline is the flame that burns even in wind. Wake before the world. Train your mind before the day attacks it. Do not wait for inspiration to act. Act, and inspiration will follow. When you live with discipline, life stops feeling like a war, because you're always ready for it. Every small act of consistency is a victory unseen by the world, but deeply felt by the soul. Lesson 5. Choose your battles wisely. Sun Tzu wrote, "He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight." Most suffering is self-inflicted because we fight everything. We fight our past, our circumstances, our emotions, and even ourselves. But not every enemy deserves your attention. Some must be ignored. You don't need to reply to every insult, defend every decision, or correct every misunderstanding. Your peace is too valuable to trade for minor victories. Let fools argue. You build empires in silence. A wise general retreats not out of fear, but out of foresight. So retreat from chaos. Withdraw from drama. Preserve your strength for what truly matters. Lesson 6. Timing is everything. Sun Tzu said, "Speed is the essence of war." In life, it means knowing when to act and when to wait. Most people rush into action without clarity, or delay until opportunity dies. Both are defeat. Wisdom lies in rhythm, the dance between patience and precision. When emotion rises, delay. When opportunity appears, strike. The universe moves in seasons. The wise move with it. You cannot plant seeds in winter and expect fruit by spring. Trust timing, but also prepare for it. As Sun Tzu taught, victory belongs to those who are ready when the moment arrives. Lesson 7. Perception is power. Sun Tzu wrote, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak." He understood that perception is often more powerful than reality. Life, too, is shaped by perception. Not what things are, but how we see them. When faced with failure, do not see defeat, see information. When rejected, do not see loss, see direction. Change the frame, and you change the war. He who controls perception controls the battlefield of the mind. If you can remain calm when others panic, you become the center of gravity. That calmness becomes your influence. In a chaotic world, composure is charisma. Lesson 8. Prepare the mind before the battle. Sun Tzu taught, victorious warriors win first and then go to war. Victory is mental long before it's physical. You win by envisioning calm before chaos comes. You train your emotions before life tests them. When you meditate, when you journal, when you breathe deeply before reacting, you are training like a general. You are rehearsing victory. There's a story of a samurai who meditated before every duel. When asked why, he said, "Because I fight only once, but my mind fights 1,000 times before that." Preparation ends panic. Peace is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the readiness for it. Lesson 9. Lead yourself before you lead others. Sun Tzu said, "A leader leads by example, not by force." True leadership begins within. You cannot command others if you cannot command your impulses. You cannot guide others if you wander without principle. Your mind is your army. Your habits are your soldiers. Lead them with discipline, or they will rebel. Feed them clarity, or they will starve. In modern life, leadership means integrity. Doing what you say, even when no one sees. It means walking calmly when others rush, speaking softly when others shout, and choosing reason over reaction. When you lead yourself, others will naturally follow. Lesson 10. End the war within. Sun Tzu said, To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. The final enemy is not the world. It is the storm inside. Most people spend their lives fighting shadows, regret, guilt, fear, ego. But the war within ends not through force, but through understanding. You do not defeat your pain by avoiding it. You face it and listen. You do not conquer your flaws by hating them. You refine them with patience. The art of living is to transform struggle into wisdom. Sun Tzu's greatest victory was peace, because the man who has mastered himself cannot be conquered by the world. He moves through life unshaken, calm in chaos, soft in strength, invisible yet powerful. When you stop fighting the parts of yourself that you do not like, you become whole again. And wholeness, not victory, is the truest form of triumph. The sun sets on every empire. Every war ends in silence. And one day, even your greatest struggles will dissolve into memory. But what will remain is how you lived, how gracefully you adapted, how calmly you moved, how deeply you understood. Sun Tzu's words echo through time not because they teach us how to destroy, but how to exist with awareness, balance, and grace. His art of war was never about conquering the world. It was about conquering the chaos within. So as you step into the world tomorrow, remember, the greatest warrior does not fight for victory. He fights for peace. And when you live with strategy, patience, and self-knowledge, the war ends before it begins. You are not here to fight endlessly. You are here to live wisely, to move with purpose, to flow like water. And in doing so, to discover the one truth Sun Tzu hid between every line of his book, that the art of war is the art of living.